Welcome back to Countdown to Branding Eminence with me, Jonas Anderson. For this time, we have 6 core components of comprehensive corporate identity. What is corporate identity? It is everything involving you and your brand and your organization's culture. What are those components? Let's get going now. First of all, it's the brand name. It should be brief, it should be meaningful, it should be easily communicated anywhere in the world. So some great examples of good brand names are, for example, Spotify, the Swedish music streaming platform startup; Honda, car brand from Japan; and we at Ultimise created a real estate seaside resort brand called Sandacy. Sandacy coming from sand and sea, shortened into a brand new word, Sandacy, which communicates that seaside feeling of sand and sea. In the logo, you can see that we put in those elements of sand and sea interlinked, and also somewhat resembling an eye, which communicates being able to see or great views. As part of that branding package, we also added the tagline, Haven of Harmony, communicating a haven, an escape from the confusion of today's world to the harmony of sand, sea, sun, and nature. That's an example of an Ultimise brand name. The next element that we want to look at is the logo. So what needs to be in a logo? It needs to be original, it needs to be meaningful, it needs to communicate well what you want to be and what you are, and it also needs to respond to today's social media driven climate. So it needs to have a social icon as well, if possible. Examples of that are the trendy brand Twitter, and I really love the Target brand because as old as it is, it could have been made yesterday. It's very trendy, it's very modern, and it even has a social icon. Now we at Ultimise created a new brand for an on-mobile banking platform by the Lao Bank STB. We wanted to communicate something very trendy and modern and accessible in today's generation, so we called it ST Hub. Hub, of course, meaning a banking hub right in your smartphone. But what's important about this brand is beyond just the name Hub, the word Hap in Lao means receive. So what we're communicating here is a double meaning, a banking hub, but also, more importantly, each user of this on-mobile platform gets to receive convenience, gets to receive opportunity right from their mobile phone, ST Hub. Now what's important in this logo is we were thinking right away, right from the onset of your mobile home screen and the icons that are there. We needed an icon that would communicate well from your mobile screen so you can see the social icon that's there. Along with your logo, it's not just creating a logo, you need to look at the logo variants as well. In the case again of ST Hub, we have the black and white, on light, on dark. We did not allow an on dark version of the logo. We require that the users of the logo must have some sort of a white background or outline behind the logo. We did not want to use a negative version of this logo. However, with the icon, we do allow for it. We have an on light and an on dark background. And you can see down here all of the color codes that are part of this brand. Speaking of colors and moving right on to the next element of corporate identity, we've got the colors or the color palette. It should be no more than 2 colors. And you can see here a branding guide where they've established very clearly what the color rules are. They're complementary and contrast accent colors. That's a proper color palette of a branding corporate identity. And the next thing is the fonts. The fonts also need to be established. It's not like just whatever font. You need to have title fonts and body text fonts. And the message. This is non-graphical, but it's a very important part of your corporate identity. A lot of people talk about tone of voice, but to me, what's important in your corporate messaging is also your vision, your mission, your core values, your tone of voice, yes. All of this are your corporate message. And in my opinion, the best way to really clarify and encapsulate your corporate message is by creating a tagline. And we've got iconic examples out there. I'm loving it by McDonald's. Probably the best tagline of all time is Nike's Just Do It. Now we at Ultimise also really love creating taglines and generally always propose them in connection with all the brands we create. Again, for STB in Laos, we created this tagline with STB in it. Bank on strong. Bank on, depend on, strong. Strong communicating a core value of STB, which is dependability and confidence. And also to bank on, to continue on in strength and convenience with STB. And the next aspect of a comprehensive corporate identity is your brand book or brand guideline, as in this example from the city of New York. This is one page of their guideline. You can see their typeface, you can see some of their messaging, you can see some of the positioning of their brand. Those are some aspects of what need to be in your brand book. Basically, your brand book communicates all of the things we've just talked about. It needs to have the font family or typography. You can see that example. This is from a brand book here. And it needs to have the color palette, as in this example from a brand book. And it needs to have your logo variants, as in this example from Spotify. Again, you can see the different variations of their branding usage or their logo usage. And also you can see here you need to have what they call the blank space or exclusion zone around the logo. Those are part of the guidelines that need to be in your brand book. Another important aspect, once again, is your corporate messaging. You can see here again with the I Love New York campaign, you can see their mission, their values, their tone of voice. It's all established in that brand guideline. Now, I consider one of the most important aspects of your brand book to be your brand guidelines and rules, and mostly that's a lot of don'ts, things you cannot do. In the case of Netflix, you can see the usage that they do not allow with their brand. You need to establish that from the onset, because if you don't, people will definitely misuse your brand and your logo. Now, this brand book can be multiple pages, dozens of pages, but I thought it was really amazing to see the American Red Cross. They managed to include all of their basic brand guidelines within one A4 sheet of paper. Take a look. This you can see online as well. This is their brand identity. You've got the logo variants, flat disk logo, print sizes, digital size, clear space, color breakdowns, their proportions. Everything is established within one sheet of paper, their whole brand guideline, their typography, their tone of voice, all of their core messaging within one page. And that has been the 6 core components of comprehensive corporate identity with us at Ultimise. And remember that if you need a partner, a friend to walk with you through the process of creating your corporate culture and corporate identity, or your branding, or any aspect of it, we here at Ultimise are fully equipped to help you fully and comprehensively and completely with every aspect, whether it's branding, logo design, taglines, content creation, whatever it is. We will walk with you to create what is your unique corporate identity and brand that's prepared to take your business global. So see you next time. I'm Jonas Anderson with Ultimise.